it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do the spring reading tag. I was tagged by Sabrina at Steakachino and the original creator is Amy Jane Smith. So I will have both videos linked for you down in the description box if you want to check them out. I definitely recommend checking them out. I will also have the questions linked down below and the links to the people I am tagging down below. But let's go ahead and jump right into the questions. I'm on spring break. This is a spring reading book tag, so let's do it. Happy enough, I'm really excited to read a book that I do not even have on my shelves or in my possession yet, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. I'm not sure which author name she goes by in that trilogy, but I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I wanted to go ahead and pick up a copy, but they didn't have it in hardback, and since I had already read the first page and it gripped my attention, I came home, ordered it off of Amazon, and I'm just impatiently waiting for it. Spring, I think of flowers and gardening and those typical type of things that you think about, and for that reason I have chosen The Secret Garden. I read this last summer and really enjoyed it. This was written so well and it was so different from any movie adaptation that I ever remember seeing because you get different perspectives. I really enjoyed reading this, and the cover is so springy with the colors and the flowers, and what's more spring-like than a secret garden? Sure which is the longest book that I've read, but I have read A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and depending on which book, which paperback or hardback, the page number changes. I have also read The Hobbit, and that's a pretty long book, but other than that I really can't think of any like long books that I've read. My mortar was pretty chunky too. Books that I would recommend to brighten your day would be To All the Boys That I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I think you should get started on this trilogy now. It was currently a duology, but Jenny Han has announced that she is adding a third book into the series, and I really liked this first book because it had a diverse cast of characters. It was also that cute, fluffy, contemporary romance that I love, but also it had like a little mystery element thrown in as well, and the characters were just so quirky and fun and believable that I absolutely loved this book. I would definitely recommend this for YA readers, and if you're an adult reader or a YA reader that likes to read adult as well, I would recommend Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. It is also a cute contemporary romance with fluffy elements, and it is an office romance. But that does not exist, I will have to say my own. I did start a couple of years ago now writing a story. The story is very fresh in my head in the themes and the message that I want to get across. It's not out in the world, at least I haven't read it, but I definitely think these themes and the message needs to be put out there. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do that, and I am heavily influenced by one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm trying to like do that justice and write in that way. I've never had a writing class or anything like that, so this is all just by myself and figuring out how to do dialogue and how to develop a story and a world and characters and all of that. I definitely would like to work on that story more sometime this year because I definitely think it is a book that needs to be out into the world. I definitely don't think I should put it on some other author's shoulder, like what I want to see. Write what you want to see. Reading has definitely changed over the years. I'm completely a different reader now than I was when I first started. When I first started reading, I don't remember the exact age I was, but I read one of two series. I read The Babysitter's Club or Sweet Valley High. Those were my go-to. I would very rarely, occasionally pick up something else, but 99% of the time I was reading The Babysitter's Club or Sweet Valley High. As I got a little bit older, I changed authors, but again, it was 2 authors, and this time it was John Grisham and Patricia Cornwell. I loved equally both of those. Again, like when I was younger, 99% of my reading was John Grisham or Patricia Cornwell. Took a break from reading, and when I returned to reading, I immediately went back to Patricia Cornwell, but I didn't pick up any more John Grisham. I wasn't really interested in that. So it was just basically Patricia Cornwell, and then I read Eleanor and Park, and I fell in love with YA. I wanted to pick up more of her works. I joined BookTube, and now behind me, as you can see, I have multiple genres, multiple authors, and I definitely don't just stick to like 2 authors or 2 series. Reading year has been off to a very interesting start. January and February were both very successful reading months for me. I'm also adding poetry into my reading routine, and I'm really enjoying that. But like I said, January and February were very successful. March, however, was not very successful as far as the amount that I have been reading, and April looks like it's going to be very much like March. I haven't really completed anything other than a very short poetry collection. I'm not really sure if it's asking for my bookish plans or just like my real life plans. My bookish plans is to definitely get out of this reading slump and just read as much as I can. I also want to knock off a big portion of my poetry that I have been hauling over the last few months. As far as real life plans, I am currently on spring break. After that, I only have 9 weeks left of school. Summer is coming, 9 more weeks of school. We can do it, teachers. We can do it. Those answer all of the questions on the spring reading tag. Feel free to check out the channels down in the description box as well as the questions. The 2 people that I'm going to tag is Emma Books and Penny Ann Books. I love both of their channels equally. But that's all for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!